Welcome to Anime Time with Soresan. Today's topic, Danganronpa. Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members and others who have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and we got another Anime Time with Soresan for you guys. As the intro showed, we are doing Danganronpa. Now there's literally too many characters to go into, just too many. I'll put like a picture, an image, front in the screen right now. There they all are. Literally, I think saying everyone would be too much to go through right now. I probably tire myself out. But anyway, so I will say this: the thing that intrigued me and my friend, who was the one we found it together, is the tiny bear, who was actually the main villain of the series. So basically the way this whole ordeal went out, they're all in high school, and they all have these titles. They're called super high school, super high school level something, and they have like a little thing that goes behind them. For example, the main character Naegi, which I'll just say this. We go back to the image, is the guy that's focused, the one straight up in the middle of everybody, in the front row. He was called super high school level good luck because apparently he had good luck. And they all have these things that kind of show who they are. The premise of this series is really it was kind of confusing. When I started watching it, I was a little concerned. The bear, I'll say this right now. That stupid bear, Mono Bear. I'll say his name because he's the main villain. Mono Bear. I honestly didn't know if I was supposed to be scared of him or laugh, because the dude he's got an evil tendency. And a lot of stuff that he does is fairly terrible. But then there's other parts where you just laugh, so it's this mix of you kind of supposed to be scared of him, but at the same time there's moments where you just laugh at him. And so the base premise of this, they're all high schools, like I said. They're all high schoolers. They're trapped inside this high school. They're supposed to live together, and Mono Bear comes out. He's the principal of the high school, and he goes off to say that the only way to graduate is by killing somebody else. Literally killing somebody else out of the 16 or 15 students, that are in there. Kill them without anybody knowing. Meaning you basically have to be the best killer in the world without leaving any trace behind. And then the way it goes is that if somebody dies, three people have to find the body. Then they have a set period amount of time to go clue hunting and try to gather up evidence. Then they all hold a class trial. This class trial, of course, Mono Bear is the judge and the executioner. So here's how it goes. You have everybody presenting evidence to try to see who the culprit is. And then after a specific set amount of time, Mono Bear will call a vote, and then everybody will vote. Obviously, they don't actually show you them voting. It's more it shows those slot machines. It kind of goes like that, and then the culprit is picked, and then here's how it goes. If if the students pick the correct person who killed the victim, that person gets executed in a fashionable way that goes along with their title. If they pick wrong, the killer gets to leave and everybody else dies. That's basically how it goes. So it's a short series. It's a short 13 episode series. So it's very, very short, and I actually finished it way sooner than I thought, because usually I like to take my time watching series, but I kind of marathon more than a couple episodes at a time. So I actually finished it fairly quickly. So his whole purpose for this is he wants to bring despair and chaos into these students' lives. Which is frustrating because sometimes people die because of him. Literally, they actually decide not to kill anybody, and he pushes their buttons. He always does something to make somebody want to kill somebody else. like it's ridiculous how he just excuse me. He gives them basically he gives them an incentive. For example, the first murder happens after he shows them like he takes them to like a video room. Remember, this is a high school, so there's different classrooms for different things. So they go into like the AV room basically, which has like the computers and all that stuff, and they all have a CD. It's basically like a movie, and the way the thing goes is that it shows somebody they care for dead. For example, Nagi saw his parents and his sister, and they're all wishing him good luck going to the high school, and it shows them dead. His friend, which again going back to the image beforehand, which was Maisono, which the black haired chick that's right next to him. She saw her bandmate, because she's in a band. She's a pop star. She saw her bandmates dead. So everybody got to see somebody die. And then the first murder happens because of that. Somebody's frustrated and angry that somebody killed somebody they love. The second one is, if I remember correctly, it was something about a secret. Yeah, I think it was a deep secret. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, and then I gotta say though, like the classroom trials, they totally gave me a Phoenix Wright type of feel because Nagi is the one that usually they do this whole animation thing. I gotta admit the animation was beautiful, but they do this whole animation thing when they start the class trials, and it like zooms in on Nagi, and then like this a foreground screen shows up like right in front of him. Like this is all like for the viewers. It's not really happening in the show, but it shows like a gun being loaded, and it's like a certain amount of bullets, and it's basically his objection. And the way it works is that somebody says a statement. Like everybody's freaking out though. Like everybody's like trying to figure out who the killer is, and then somebody says something that he somehow has a retaliation for, and he's like, "You're wrong," and then like a bullet will fire. Of course, not literally, but and then they'll break the person who just said that statement. Like it'll look like shattered glass and break, and then he'll bring out a point to counter that point, and he'll do this until the last bullet, which is basically him figuring out who the real killer is, and it'll be like, I know who it is, and then he points it out. I know it was you, and then the last bullet fires. And he's like, and then the person freaks out like, no, I didn't, you're crazy, I didn't do this, and then they start flipping out. So it was pretty crazy. Overall, I mean, I did enjoy the series. I did. The ending was completely unexpected. You know how there's those series where you just know how it's gonna end? And in fact, I showed the series to a friend of mine, like in the first episode, and I told him the basics around it. Like I had just started watching it, and he says, "Well, we already know who's gonna win, the main character." Now, but it's weird. Like the ending, like even though I had that kind of like mindset behind him too, like I'm like, okay, so everybody else is gonna die except for the main character, and he's gonna get away with everything. But no, they didn't do that, which completely I was like, wow. Like the thing is, another character I'm gonna bring up because she is a very important character. Though purplish like white haired chick that's right next to Nagi in the image before. I'm sorry if I keep constantly bringing you back to that. Her name is Kirigiri. She actually starts snooping around because she wants to find the purpose, the secrets behind this whole game. The thing is being broadcasted. They actually find this out. All the murders and all the stuff that's going on is actually being broadcasted live on national TV. So like they start snooping around. She's actually more crazy. She literally tries to find every nook and she starts searching every nook and crack of every place that they are available to go because she wants to know the secrets behind all this stuff. It was crazy though. Like it was ridiculous how all of this. Wow, like it really was a great show. I gotta admit, even though somebody was dying every other episode, because literally how it was, like you have beginning, somebody dies, the trials, then somebody dies, and like so on and so forth. Like it wasn't like a death every episode, but it was kind of like in the beginning, you didn't know these guys, so it's like the first death. even though it was somebody close to Nike. Like literally, I'm not gonna spoil who the first death is, but I mean, I didn't really care for her in general. But throughout the progress, like the guy who got killed, the person who committed the first murder, I didn't really care for him either. So, but it was like afterwards, like I started like connecting to it. Like it was more like I felt more worse every time somebody died later on in the series than in the beginning. So, it was not. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was. Um, how you just start growing attached to these characters, and some of their personalities, you actually start to feel you feel bad for certain of them. Especially sometimes you know how, like I said, Mono Bear pushes them to commit a murder by doing something to give them a motive. Um, when you start hearing the reasonings behind why they did this, you kind of feel bad because it's not like it kind of makes you feel bad, literally. Like, and actually, it's weird because well, actually, I'm not gonna say that because that would be spoiling way too much. Um, I don't know. I highly suggest watching the series. It was really short. The thing that I also found interesting is I started researching this thing. It actually was a video game before it was an anime, which I was like, wow, it actually worked out pretty well. Um, like the game came out in 2010. This show came out late, like in during I think it was August or July or August, something like that. Um, Wait, was it July or August? It was one of those. It was one of those during it was during that time. And then like so it ended fairly recently. The manga there is a manga. There's like two mangas and some light novels. I don't know if they make another sequel. I wouldn't mind watching it because overall, I mean, it was great and the ending was pretty interesting. They also did a thing that kind of hints at a possible continuation. Damn bear. But I mean, yeah, like I really like the series. The ending was a complete shock. Like I was not expecting that at all. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I don't know, like I highly suggest it. Rating wise, I would give it a 9.7 or something. Because I mean, I don't want to give it a perfect score because I mean there were some things that could have been done better. And there's that it did that whole thing of the main character, and hell he can't die. Even though there was sometimes the blame was put on him. But I mean it wasn't bad though. Like the ending, like I said, the ending completely threw me off. It wasn't you couldn't guess that at all. There was just no way for you to guess that. Um, but yeah, so that's it for this anime time. Thank you guys for watching. Post your comments down below if you've watched this series. Let me know what you thought of it. Because I loved it. I did. The fact that I watched it way too fast just proves it. But yeah, so that's has been it for anime time. Danganronpa edition. Leave suggestions for animes down below. I would love to watch some other ones. And yeah, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And I hope that in the next couple days I'll be able to do like more videos, maybe a top 10, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm officially in spring break, so I hope to have a couple videos out during the week. So, yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in later videos.